laughing the whole time too.
Well, I mean, it is Mr. Dragon, lol.
Exactly. Just loving it.
Yeah, LOL, of course, stands for lots of love.
Wait, I'm so distracted by this Lucio emote because it's like if your levels are going all over the place, that's gotta sound like crap.
Hey, you know...
just thinking.
We didn't quite get the Vestex sponsorship for the mixer there, so he's just kind of messing. It's like a modern DJ, right? They hit their playlist on the MacBook, and then they just do a little bit of choreography.
Yeah, and then you figure out, oh wait, hold on, none of this was plugged in, and yet he's doing a real good job.
There's a couple of great videos of guys really messing around with equipment that is clearly not plugged in. Another enormous mine over the top. Dragon misses the early shots, but Remix is down, as is Shinoda. Shinoda came out of spawn on the Symmetra, so obviously trying to get some cute teleporter play in. But because of that mine, because of the early kills, we're not going to see it. Makes me kind of mad. Shinoda's going to switch over to the Genji.
What we're going to see is a tire, and even faster tire. 82%. He was at like 75% off of that start. That's fast. Steven?
Look, the bear trap is hard to see in the ground. I get that. But the concussion mines just sit on top right there. Amy Zevin jumps in, takes a shot from both snipers, will end up going down as well.
There it is, the shot from Mr. Dragon. Lots of assists on that one. It's a team game, Hex, yeah?
Yeah. This has to be Shinoda trying to step up on the Genji to maybe get in there, but it's such a long distance that I think you almost have to put Luke's onto a Widowmaker just to try to put some pressure on it. But with this high ground defense, you're going to have an Orisa shield up top that the Widow can always go to if she wants. There's a lot of architecture she can hide behind. And look, they're both just looking for snipes. Hits an entry shot.
There you go. A little bit of, not a whole lot of ult percentage. And Shinoda, he's already gone down. Steven's found that first kill. But Eclipse, right now, his team just isn't taking much damage, so it's going to take forever for them to actually get those ults online. That nade certainly helps, though, and so 65% here on the boost.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding for Shinoda so far. 3 deaths on his team. He's died every time they've tried to go in. No one can hear you scream in space. Lucky for Semler. He does not like that D.Va scream very much.
Yeah, sadly. Sadly, I can't hear. No, you're wrong, actually, because I enjoy it.
Yeah, you do enjoy it, but sadly you can't hear them scream in space.
Exactly. You know, things come bursting out of people's chests, and it all gets very messy. So, as far as you get the reference.
No, I'm aware. There's no Ellen Ripley on this space station, unless she's hiding in the grates with Newt. All right, so this has been a failed attempt on offense several times over. Let's see if they find any answers. They finally put Luke's onto the Widowmaker, but that is just going to prompt Mr. Dragon to hide behind the shield. Luke's goes for a giant grapple shot, unable to find the angle over there. Still no kills for the side of Switzerland.
So, let's see. We are going to have a bit of a presence on the point here. Switzerland trying to at least pull the defense apart, trying to spread them out so that maybe they can find a pick. And a boosted Winston. This is looking good. There we go. Maybe finding a high-value target. Mini is out of the fight, but they got to stop these guys from finding all the kills. Austria like, yeah, you kill our Mercy? Well, we don't need heals if none of you are alive.
Shinoda can't buy a break right now. He's up over there. Steven drops the tire right next to himself and takes down the Genji yet again. So Switzerland is going to have to go back to the drawing board. Yet we are under 1 minute on the Switzerland attack.
They
don't have anything
kind of brutal.
It's going to be tank ultimates. You got to get your tank ultimate. Shinoda's been dead so often, he hasn't had a blade out yet, but could be able to get there in the fight. But he's died so early in these fights. You see, the instant that shield goes down, starts the deflect. He's like, I'm not having it. But unfortunately, Remix and Lux need the wrong end of that barrel.
Just running in is not the answer here, boys. It's not working. There it is. Finally, a little bit of pressure. Shinoda, his time to shine. And they will find the kill in the end. As far as progress on this point is concerned, it's pretty slim. They need to just find these picks now. There's Shinoda finally with the blade, looking for the hack and slash. Not quite getting the kill. It took him a long time, but he will eventually force it, and it's looking like Switzerland, at the very end, will succeed.
At the very end, the tanks came through with the damage that they had to throughput, even though they lost their Mercy early on. Mercy's very mobile if people come back and bring her into the fray, and Shinoda with a bit of a redemption tour there. It was very close to getting knocked out by that Widow. He had Deflect on cooldown, so he's not taking any damage and able to secure that kill. Dash reset it on the point, get the blade out, and get some value finally. 350 on the clock now.
They finally got some damage on the board. That's the big thing there for Switzerland. They were lagging behind. Everybody like sub 1,000 damage dealt. It's like, okay, you're not even really getting in there. But one good push, that's all they needed. Despite the really strong start from Mr. Dragon, though, And now it seems like they're trying to make up their minds which way they want to go, and it's going to be the high ground here.
Let's be about spotting these low targets there. That's, of course, what you're going to see. A beautiful sleep dart by Eclipse. Going to put him to the ground, and now Eclipse takes out his counterpart. Mimi wakes up from that nap into another waking nightmare.
Oh, man, I am loving this off. And a play. Let's go. Maybe pins him to the wall,
Doesn't matter. Luke's has gone off, as has Mimi. Gotten 2 kills on the Primal. They have turned a terrible situation into some progress on the point.
Some real progress. Look at this. 1 tick picked up. Now they have to kind of take their time here, Austria. You don't want to go streaming in one after another. Get together as a group. You got the Brigida in play now as well, so those stuns will be something that they have to worry about until Lux blows up Steven. And now we've got a real fight on our hands here. Switzerland, there's a chance.
Well, you had the right idea to group up. They'd already given up 2 ticks. You weren't going to prevent that, so why not let it go to about 90% and get all 6 in there? They seem like to rush in with 4, but it's not going to matter. Shinoda and Mimi have come alive. Mimi has been a hard carry on this Winston on final point.
Oh my man, Watts is getting melted though. So much pressure, such good focus. Fire coming in from Switzerland, and now they've nearly got it. Last chance here as Mr. Dragonlall dashes back onto the point, trying to keep it alive. 1 man left here, and it's going to be Sensotics, which is decent with that Baby Diva. A little bit more time bought, but this is going to be cutting it pretty close, and it's not going to be fast enough. Switzerland, after a very rocky start, succeed in picking up both points, and with time left in the bank.
Yeah, Shinoda was the star of that first point who had a redemption tour, but it was Luke's who came alive with his Winston here, and this is what happens with the Tracer, is that we didn't say Luke's name at all early on. He was on the Widow to try to deal with some stuff. But Tracer's good at cleaning up the mess. You want to do a little bit of damage, I got a clip, I got a blink, I got a clip, I got a blink. She's everywhere at once and just leaves a smoke trail behind her and a trail of eliminations. A nice play by Luke's there to close it out. And what a turnaround. That looked awful. They had nothing going for them until under a minute on first point. We're able to gut that one out, and on their first push on second point of Lunar Colony, able to take that as well.
That's a big deal. 2 minutes 16 in the bank here for Switzerland. So now it's a matter of them holding the line here, as Austria are going to be the ones on the offense. Swiss, I mean, they're looking like a little bit more confident. That's good. That's good. You need to have some chuckles here on your side. Otherwise, if it gets too grim, it's going to be too difficult. 50 seconds.
We'll see what the defense wants to roll out here for this Swiss team here. Looks like they want to run the exact same defense. There is a kind of a standard meta that happens on Horizon Lunar Colony. Of course, you want shields up top, so you get Narissa. You want some long-range damage, so you get yourself Widowmaker. And you want to be able to deny rotations. That's why you have the Junkrat on the top left there. He's just going to, throw it down in the entry hallway. Then if you see they're going stairs, that is just, why not? Just lob grenades down there. You're going to get all sorts of free damage. It's also a very good map for tires. There's a lot of strange architecture you can use. So a very standard defense. Offensively, looks like they want to throw in a lot of tanks.
The big beef. That's what's going to happen here. Look at it. Look at those HP.
I know, just the way you say it makes me uncomfortable.
Where's the beef? That is a reference that nobody wants.
Yes.
That is an old WoW reference.
Yes, the octogenarians will understand that reference. It's not even a WoW reference. It's a commercial from the 80s.
Stop it.
Come on.
All right, let's go. Going to be Luke's opening up the angles. They are moving their way together. Of course, this is exactly the game plan here for Austria when you're running this kind of strategy. Just everybody group, stick together, and just crank out the heals with the Eclipse on Moira.
4 tanks, 2 supports. The damage is going to have to come from the frontline tanks. That's a huge Fire Strike hit, and you're also going to have a Roadhog in there to try to be your quasi-DPS.
Exactly. Nice halt. Oh, not going to get it, though. The bubble there to negate the damage from the nades. Shinoda getting yanked into his demise. Sensotics will melt them down. There's still a Diva, a Baby Diva alive, but not for long. Okay, there's trickling in now at this point, but Switzerland, the defense has been broken, and Austria are going to get a very quick time on the first pull.
Just not enough damage to be able to deal with that HP pool that Austria was presenting them. It's just so much healing done by the Moira. Her ult charge is fast, but already going to have Coalescence. They should just rush this right now, and they're going to do that. Tire's got to be big.
Yeah, this has got to be a monster tire. They're going to stick together, but the focus fire has to be good. It's getting
low,
and it's not going to happen. Excellent work there from Sensotics. Now we get the hook in. If you can get the D-Mech, that is big as well. Kiba going to be quickly out of this fight. There's a real chance to just roll this point, and Austria are looking fantastic right now. 6.5 minutes to get the job done.
Ooh, the hook dodged by this Hammond, but only for a moment. The squeak of terror as he will fall.
That was a high-pitched squeak, you're right. Nearly got it, and nobody Nobody from the Swiss can get back on that point to contest. A flawless run here from Team Austria.
About as good as you can hope for right there. Take first point as quickly as possible, take second point as quickly as possible. No presentation of defense from the Swiss team. And with both teams completing, let's go again. See what the other side has to hold. And now both teams know what the other team's running strategy-wise. And I just wonder what kind of offense we're going to end up seeing from the Swiss team, because that first offense was absolutely stifled.
It was brutal. Can they run the big beef? That's going to be the question.
All right, so a 4-minute difference between these teams because both teams were able to pretty much ace their first push on second point. Once you capture first point, they add 4 minutes to your clock. That's why you see the difference between the time banks there. Defensively, from this Austrian team, it does seem like they're going to run the exact same composition, and why wouldn't you? It worked most of the time until it didn't.
Until it didn't.
Yeah, it's expert analysis. How dare you?
That's how it goes. You're right. You're right. When something isn't working, it's something. It's expert analysis as well. So fantastic, because right now it's looking like we're going to get a bit of a rinse and repeat here. Switzerland are going to go ahead and attempt the strategy that they saw from Austria that was so effective. Yeah. Austria just going back to what nearly got the lockdown.
Yeah, Switzerland's like, hey, that looked good.
Yeah.
That looked hard to deal with. That was hard to deal with.
Can we do that too?
Yeah, also Switzerland said when something's not working, they just add more tanks. So this makes a world of sense right now. You're gonna have 4 tanks, 2 supports, the AoE healing. Everyone's gonna be clumped together, so Steven should be able to feast. He should be a priority target for them.
You should just be chucking exactly damage in. Melt that Rhine shield, get it out of the fight. Straight wrap all the way around. Nearly gets the nade, but the D-Matrix cancels it. That one, the second one got through though. And Dragon should be able to find some low HP targets to take advantage of until he gets hooked in. Perfectly done there. Maybe he gets the kill, but that was a setup from Lukes.
That D-Matrix doesn't get the first mine, we might be talking about a completely different play, because the second one would have been getting everyone very low and make it a lot easier for Dragon to hit shots without having to put himself in a compromising position. He's going to come back on the Doomfist instead. This tire's got to be big. It gets his support.
Gets a support, but not before Scorpion gets the D-Mech on Sensatics. A lot of pressure now on Watt 7, who has been nano boosted just to make him a bit tougher, harder to kill. He's surviving so far. Fresh barrier goes down, and he is still cranking out the deeps. Mimi now getting focused, shot in the back. Sound barrier in the end thrown in. They want to commit to this Switzerland. They know that they've got him on the edge, but with both, well, one healer, at least Eclipse just pumping damage, or healing into Watts.
Watt's gonna fortify, but against a 5-man front, it's not gonna be worthwhile there. They will eventually clean up Eclipse, who just wants to reset there. Scorpion is gonna be the beneficiary of that ultimate charge. Switzerland looks to pounce immediately.
They're looking to roll with 3 ults on board. You've got that grab as well, and the Shatter, 2 big game-changing ultimates that they can throw in here to really crash through this defense. There it is, the grab. Single target picked up on it. Sensatics, who was already pretty much dead, so let's see if the Shatter gets any better. That's gonna catch a hamster, and he's gonna take that hamster for a ride.
Not very fun in that ball when he gets slammed on the ground and pushed into the wall, and even though they've tried to transition into the Spire of Mercy, it just leaves the targets on the ground that much more vulnerable to the focus fire. This Mercy has to live right now. Dragon's gonna get a kill. Oftentimes on defense on Assault, you only need 1 to start pulling it back.
Exactly right. Such a long distance to cover, but Switzerland finding kills of their own right now. They may be able to turn this. Watt 7, he's gone for the hamster now, just kind of going for the shots, just staying alive as best he can. Hard target to lock down, especially when he can knock you in the air. But
bought so much time.
Oh, where's that default gonna go? All right, it actually goes for it. All right, this is working out here. Shinoda now nearly up to another grab. That's how long this fight has gone, how long he survived. And with the sound barrier down and the Diva Bomb managing to pick off Mr. Dragon.
The Reaper switch comes in. Steven's able to avoid that self-destruct, and now here's another Graviton. There's a couple kills from the defense here, though. Maybe they can swing it back. We're in overtime.
So close, and it is gonna roll over. Switzerland finds success with the Big B Goats strategy.
Goats is generally more referred to as 3 supports and 3 tanks. That one, they just keep adding more tanks and more tanks in there. That was I guess closer to what we used to call the Slambulance, maybe. You get the Lucio speed boost, and you get as much power in there as humanly possible.
That's right.
Look, it gets confusing.
And then you get it. you're all right. It's just more tanks. Give me some deeps. Give me some DPS.
Yeah, well, I mean, Roadhog is a DPS. He used to be a much better DPS. He was a DPS in a tank body. Now he still puts out the damage, but with those hooks in, if you don't kill the hook target, then your team is just asleep at the wheel right there. So
you're not getting a lot out of it.
Yeah, getting some nice hooks there early on from both these teams, and that's some nice adaptation there from the Swiss team. Like, hey, that looked good. We're going to do that.
And it worked.
Yeah, exactly.
Simple as. And you highlighted the reason why yesterday, Hex. I mean, it's just you're afforded more mistakes.
Yep.
They
said
high HP pools.
That is the great quote from the Swiss team. More HP, more mistakes.
So, as far as Cutthroat is concerned, though, Austria, just go with the Torbjorn. Offensive Torbjorn, man. Come on. You get onto that point, throw that turret down. Molten Core.
Yeah, this is why we don't queue together.
Fair enough. Well, it's looking like we will not get the joy of a little dwarf running around hammering people in the shins with the hammer.
I like this adaptation, though, from Switzerland as well. To go to the Farah, they know pretty much what Austria wants to run here. Farah's going to have to be putting in the damage. I also like running it with a Zenyatta. You discord a target, and that's instantly your focus. Like I said, it makes everyone's focus that much easier, even subconsciously. You see the discord, you shoot at it.
They are getting slowed down a little bit here, but they will succeed in regrouping as a unit, Austria. And once again, straight onto the point, no time wasted, attempt at the hook, not going to find it, but looks has already got that tire online.
This is what happens when you have the giant tank composition. Yeah, you're sustaining through and everyone's eating damage, but everyone's eating damage from your Junkrat. A huge tire is going to lock down too, and without a Lucio in this mix, everyone's just waiting to die now.
Exactly. Steven is out of it. We will have Sensotics hanging on by a thread just a little while longer, but eventually gets punched in the face. And it will be a successful hold here for Switzerland, but they have a lot of work ahead of them here, Hex. 5.5 minutes for Austria.
It ends up only being about 5 pushes, though. But with a Lucio, you might be able to extend that a little further. You're going to be able to get in position faster. But you generally parse out about 1 minute per attempt because fights are going to take a little longer, especially with this really big tank line. It's not going to be often that you just completely wipe them. Hitting up the stairs again. I want to see where this barrage comes down, if it comes down, because a Roadhog can really ruin your day with it.
Exactly.
You gotta let him in.
I love the positioning. Exactly. Just let them in, and he's gonna drop on him like a ton of bricks. Boom! Right there, point blank, instant stun. And then it was too greedy, Hex. It was too greedy. But I like the play.
Yeah, you kind of want to see that Roadhog with his back turned towards you first, but at least he was trying to prioritize fire him. If he misses that hook, it's a whole different story. That was not the case there. Supercharger dropped, but then eliminated immediately by Mr. Dragon.
I'm just amazed he survived.
So am I.
Survived the fight another day, and he's going to find some kills too. Let's go. Luke's with the tire. This time, Whole Hog is going to cancel it out immediately. Diva Bomb not going to find any kills, just buys a little bit on the positioning, but Austria right now looking good to pick up this first point.
And this one is just about over. Now it's all about the cleanup. They're going to have Grav going into this, and what do they have to combo with it? Well, they do have a self-destruct going forward as well, and you still have Earth Shatter. Now, Switzerland finished in overtime. Austria obviously going to try to finish much quicker here. They've got 4:30 on the clock.
Plenty to work with.
You see the Hammond switch. This is why your pushes are always so good. Defense almost always switches compositions on second point assault, but offense gets to roll in with ults.
Well, you got Hammond trying to sow confusion here in the ranks. Watts has no idea which way to face with the shield. He'll only catch the one, but he is getting focused down on all sides. Grav has been used by Sensotics as well. We find the kill on Scorpion, but there are still 4 alive here for Switzerland, and it's looking good as far as the hold is concerned.
Well, at the very least, they're going to get 33% progress, which is going to stay permanent right now. Now, if they can burn down this bar, who is super low, they got to get the focus on it. But now, which target do you focus? They're both insanely hard to kill. The Mercy's done a great job on Switzerland of switching to both targets, but now the Mercy's gone.
That was a bold res, Hex. That was a bold res.
Ambitious.
Punish was definitely there. Solid work, but they are managing to bring this back, it looks like, with the trance. That's going to top everybody up for Switzerland. And now they have the advantage in terms of bodies as well. So Mini, you can already see backing off. He's just going to get that taxi service.
And here's the thing, 65% 0.6 is not 66% 0.6. So they're going to lose all of that permanent progress. They were so close to locking in 2/3 of the capture point. But now back to the drawing board here. Austria is going to switch up their composition. Because you know who else is good? Sombra. Sombra's very good, especially against a Hammond. Lock him down, can't use abilities, and it makes it a lot easier to kill that hero.
I'm sure that's going to be a part of the key strategy here, Steven. Yep, spots him high ground. getting eyes on the situation, a little bit of a hack. Yeah, on the Diva, good choice as well. Now that's just a 2-ton tin can sitting there, and it gets melted immediately.
Your alliteration is amazing. I'm in awe.
Had a bit of a good ring to it too.
Yeah, that's
you know?
nice. That's
Kind of
very
flowed. Yeah, I like that one.
A couple kills here from Austria as they continue to come in. They're able to take down the tire and the tire's captain as they still go in with this bar. The bar is going to be a problem, and with this kind of composition, you want it to get hacked, but back to the drawing board. They will take Remix out late, but it's not going to matter. Time to go back to spawn. 2 minutes and some change left over. Now they got the second tick, though. They're piecing it together.
Yeah, I was just waiting there for Shinoda to go for the barrage. It's like, you know they're there. You know there's point blank. There's nothing really to stop you. Just do it. You're going to get the barrage up again when they try to push through these choke points. So I'm glad to see Shinoda just going for the plays. A little bit of an early spot here to kick things off.
The big ultimate you're going to look for coming in is going to be EMP. EMP into self-destruct is a great combination for this offense. You're going to have to see if it hits all the targets. They're going to boost the Hammond, and EMP comes out, but they've lost their Lucio. If they're going to commit to this, they're committing.
They're committing. They want to go for this fight, and they are not quite pulling ahead just yet. Was7 gets overwhelmed, but Sensatics will find Shinoda. So that pesky Pharah is out of the picture. Now just try and kill the Hammond, though, as he's knocking you up in the air. Brutal damage here from Mimi, making the difference.
It's going to be hard to capture the point, too. We talk about May's ultimate being an area denial ultimate on the point. Hammond's ultimate drops mines pretty much everywhere. When Hammond drops ultimate on his map, I swear mines appear in my computer room. You know, they're everywhere. They're hard to get rid of. They last a long time. A very good defensive ultimate to be able to lock down a point and see when he wants to drop that. And oftentimes you'll see a Hammond swing, especially here. Looks like a playground. This is actually where Hammond is from in the lore. So you swing up and you rain mines from the sky, and then people have no idea where they're coming from. He's already set up for it.
He spots them. They're all grouped up as well. So just a matter of time here. We're going to go with the Rip Tire first.
Well, Lux is down. His tire's still alive, though.
Woo! There it is, point blank, and again gets the Lucio. Big kills, and now it's looking like maybe wants to get into this fight. There's the knock, not quite gonna find the targets. Will be able to get that shield though, so it's gonna be so tough to punish him.
I think he wants to hold on to the ultimate too, considering they did get the Lucio, but you have to finish this fight before Lucio gets back. They are gonna rain the mines from the sky, carpet bombing.
Nice sleep as well there by Scorpion, just keeping them on their toes. Not quite getting the heals there, but he will go for the nano, and it's on the Hammond as well, so. He's a fierce hamster.
This is the last fight.
Do a lot of damage. 10 seconds left here on the clock for Austria. 2 ticks picked up, and it might not be enough. It's looking good here for the Swiss.
It's not going to be enough. The Swiss are going to take this third map 4-3 unless a miracle comes out. A nice sleep dart onto Watt puts him low from the get-go. Hammond's going to come in and clean it up easily.
Just dropping all the damage. Sensatics focuses down. Mr. Dragon Ball will get recalled out. So we will have this trickle here coming in, but it's just not going to be enough. Switzerland right now, as long as they keep their game together, they should just be exactly rocking house. Steven will find Shinoda, but that's pretty much going to be it because he's going to get run over and nobody's close enough to touch the point. Switzerland will find victory here on Lunar Colony, and they're pulling ahead 2-1.
Set themselves up for the serious win. And what I love about that win from Switzerland too is watching them look so absolutely lost on their first offense until they finally found something. Then it calmed them down. Then they adapted. Then they changed their style as the maps went on. Great adaptation throughout, and it seems like they're calm and happy, and they're on the verge of getting their second goal accomplished.
That's it, exactly. This would be the big rival match for them coming into it. They're like, if we can get one map, groovy, then we want to beat Austria.
Yeah, I just wonder what's next for them. Sweep Team USA, you know?
Go
1, go 2,
Let's
just keep setting the bar higher.
That's right. You know, if the expectations keep growing, they're all attainable goals. It's all possible, Hex.
Yeah.
It's not impossible.
No, in theory, it is very,
Improbable,
very possible.
Highly improbable, but impossible? No. Looks like we'll have Rialto as our final map, and so let's go ahead and take a look at an Escort Explainer.
This is Escort. 2 teams face off as either defenders or attackers. This is the payload. The attacking team has a limited amount of time to escort the payload along a set path containing 3 checkpoints. The payload only moves forward when an attacker stands near it. Defenders can delay the payload's movement by standing nearby at the same time. To get moving again, attackers must clear away the defenders by force. Every time the payload reaches a checkpoint, the attackers score 1 point and gain additional time on the clock. If even one attacker is near the payload when the clock runs out, the game enters overtime. This extends play indefinitely until the attackers are either cleared off the payload or they gain more time by reaching a checkpoint. The round ends when the payload reaches the destination or when time runs out. Teams switch sides each round. Whichever team scores the most points and escorts the payload farthest wins.
So there you have it. Escort map. Push the payload. Push for the win. Done.
You ever been on one of these boats?
I have not been on one of these boats.
I have. At the what's the casino in Vegas that's supposed to be
So
like
you haven't
Italy?
been on one of these boats. Fair enough, okay.
I've been on a version of one of these boats, you know.
Yeah, but that's about the same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
No, it was funny because we got on the boats and I guess, you know, it's a safety policy, but they made us put on seatbelts. And I just could not stop laughing. Then I had to put on a seatbelt in 2 feet of water on this gondola inside a shopping center in Las Vegas.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now. I know exactly what you're talking about. Also, seatbelts on a boat, bad idea. You know, if
Yeah.
boat goes down,
Yeah.
you don't want.
I
Like,
kind of want to be able to swim away.
I don't want
That'd be-
anything
that'd be
holding me
nice.
to the boat. Please.
All right, let's get into Rialto here. The map of right angles. I'm going to turn right, you're going to turn left, you're going to turn left, you're going to turn right, all around the bends. It's quickly becoming one of the players' favorite maps.
Well, it feels like you're allowed to really express yourself here. A lot of you could go head on with the defense,
Yeah.
offense, or you can start setting up flanks, left, right, and center.
At
a lot
first-
of heroes possible
Yeah,
here.
at first glance, the path of the cart seems very straightforward and very kind of choky, but this map is riddled with beautiful flanks. Nice rocket, nice follow-up there. Eclipse takes down Shinoda to start this one off.
Yeah, that was beautiful. Good communication there, and that is kind of what you want to be doing. But you have quite a bit of firepower as well because Mr. Dragonball will be on Widowmaker, so we've got that double, air quotes, double sniper.
An instant switch, though. As soon as they know that there's going to be a sniper on the map, they just go to Tex.
I like this for Eclipse as well. It's like, heal my team? Nah, I'm just going to shoot everybody in the face. That's fine, too, with a great nade, eliminating the ability to heal for the offense.
Now, this is traditionally what you would refer to as GOATS comp, going back to the team that, you know, somewhat invented it or popularized it at the very least. So I'll often refer to as triple-triple, 3 tanks, 3 supports on the ground. You know, Brigitte, despite her damage output and sustainability and everything else, is a support hero. And a nice concussion's gonna knock them off. Back to spawn with Yi.
And now we have, again, wholesale changes. This is going to be a bit of an interesting situation now for Switzerland because I think that they need to kind of stick to this comp.
Yeah.
And try to start building some ultimates to work with here because if you keep changing it up, you're never going to get your ults.
Well, it reminds me of King's Row. And Rialto also reminds me of King's Row as a map, but Switzerland kept changing, and never got anything going, never took first point. And here's the thing about Rialto, first point, hardest point to take on the equal map.
Yeah, not a whole lot of time now. 2.5 minutes, nearly half of their bank used up here for Switzerland. And they're just getting pummeled, Tex.
It's been pretty one-sided here. In fact, 100% one-sided. Switzerland yet to find a kill.
And wow, this is Mr. Dragon, yep. When they're out in the open like this, it doesn't get any prettier or easier.
You know what I said? You run far until they prove they can stop it? They've proven they can stop it. So I guess they're going to switch yet again. This is another counter to maybe a Widowmaker here. Shinoda's going to go to Genji. He didn't have a great Genji life on Lunar Colony, but they're going to make some early trades here. It's a nice kill over the top. Kiba has been the silent killer, the silent glue holding this Swiss sandwich together. We don't put glue in sandwiches. I have mixed up my analogies.
That's fine. I mean, maybe you do.
Yeah, are you telling me that I look like someone who eats paste?
Yeah, they intentionally make it so that it's not going to kill you. That child's glue or whatever.
You're right. I'm only allowed non-toxic glue and safety scissors. You're right. You're right.
And you still run with them, heck. It pisses me off. No end, but I still see you running in the halls with those scissors.
Yeah, well, safety last.
Safety last, exactly.
Dragon continues to put on a display here, but now Luke's comes to life. They're going to need Luke's to counter Widow here. I really don't see any other way around it. The sight lines are too long to really send your Genjin alone. He can get in, but can he get out alive? And is that a trade you want to make? Right now, Austria still dominating. A nice late kill there. 1 minute remains for Switzerland's offense to get to the checkpoint.
They really have figured out how to get this lockdown going. Difficult for Switzerland to dive on that one target as well. We will have, once again, a little bit of a change coming through here from Lux. We will have that tracer in play, so they really are going all out now. This is their last push, potentially 45 seconds for Switzerland. They have many ults online. Gonna keep an eye on Shinoda as well, because obviously the Dragon Blade can be the game changer.
Well, they're going to open it up with a Primal Rage getting burned on very quickly, so they're going to invest in the Sound Barrier. They know this is their last good push. They're into it. Shinoda does take down the main threat.
Oh, this could be a big follow-up. Not quite. It looks like maybe actually picked up the kill, so Eclipse out of it. Now we can have a chance here for Switzerland to make some real progress. And perhaps similar to Lunar Colony, it's going to be at the very end where they get the job done.
That should be good enough because they were able to take down the supports on the other side. They still have a nano should they so need it. They shouldn't. There it is. There's the checkpoint. Let's add some time to that clock. 2.5 minutes.
Nice work. Nice recovery there from Switzerland. Bringing it back together. Austria could feel just a little bit disappointed. They were doing quite a good job, but it just wasn't enough.
Second becomes a much more difficult part of the map to hold for the defense too. Where do you really want to posture up? Are you going to try to hold right on the bridge where it's wide open and you're sitting in sight lines, or do you hold the top of the house and rotate around the corner? You don't necessarily always want to fight the open, but I've seen a lot of different strategies on the outside.
Overwatch 7 just getting the primal. It's worn off. He's got to be careful now. He just got bionated. No heals possible on him, but he's really putting the pressure on the back line.
Can't find that Lucio.
Because he's already dead. No, never mind. Nope. He's not dead. He's still hopping around.
Nope, he's got the best.
Oh my God.
This is...
There we go.
Took a little bit too long right there. And now the rest of the team is coming back for him. He's able to get some more progress on the cart. That's one of those small plays that's never going to show up in a scoreboard. And if we didn't have the camera there, no one would have noticed. But the delay from the Lucio, you know? I just really like Lucio as a hero because I think at some point we're going to be able to wear rollerblades in public again.
No, I'm sorry. It's never going to happen.
It's such an effective means of transport.
No, because then what? You got to carry your shoes with you, and then what do you do with the rollerblades after that? No.
Yeah, well.
Just no. Unless you're in a hockey rink, I'm not interested.
All right. A man can dream. Luke's able to get to the back line and Mini-Me down and out of it. Shinoda doesn't find much with the blade. We'll call it a zoning blade for there, but the big targets, Dragon and Mini-Me, out of this fight. Luke's has a bomb too. He sticks it.
Beautiful work. Finds a kill on Eclipse with it, but they were all grouped up. We will have a D-bomb going off right now. Boom, nothing. But that is going to give Luke's the opportunity to shut Sensonics out of this fight. And right now, Switzerland are keeping together. They're doing a fantastic job.
Looks like they're going to get to second here with a nano ready to go. And Luke's has been very good on this in this kind of full dive transition here with the Ana. We've just seen Ana be so useful, so vibrant. If you can keep your Ana alive, that's what Lucio's really good at. Lucio-Ana combinations are good because Ana doesn't have much self-defense. You miss that dart, you should die. But Lucio can knock everyone around while Ana's healing him, and then if she misses his heal, she accidentally hits the guy trying to kill him. So it all works really well in concert to be able to peel for each other, keep each other alive.
Oh, there we go. Shield was able to block it. That was unfortunate, yeah, because that would have been big. Just going to go rolling right on through, and with Sound Barrier used, Switzerland looking to push the advantage here. Nano used on the Hammond as well. The Focus Fire is good. Somehow the heal's keeping up, keeping Watt7 in this fight. And now maybe just going to force them. I'm rocking a hard place here. They're getting a bit split up.
He's going to swing his way out. Might not be able to get out, but it's Hammond, so I wouldn't put anything past it. It's a very hard hero to kill, hard hero to lock down. Austria's defense will finally stabilize here. Switzerland has gone over to a Pharah Mercy. The Pharah came first. Mercy's going to come out second. Let's see what they have going here. This could be a decent area to try to throw in a self-destruct over top just to gain entry for your ground forces. Your air forces don't really need it. But it's often the way that you just toss in a dragon just because you need to get in. It's the best way to do so.
Oh, excellent work. Eclipse finding that kill in Remix. That is a big deal. No mercy in play here for Switzerland is definitely going to slow things down. Shinoda's already got a barrage online, though. That's bonkers. Might not be enough, though, because Austria right now just holding at the point, and it is going to have to be a reset, and this will, once again, be the final push. But it always seems like Switzerland, they get their backs to the wall, they're out of time, and that's when they get into overdrive. Yeah,
we'll see who they want to nano here. I actually would not hate a nanoed Pharah here, because it might help her live through a barrage.
Nanoed Hammond as well, he's going to have the minefield up pretty much for this next fight.
I mean, this one's all about ult efficiency right now. Austria's already armored up, though.
There it is. It is the Nano. On the Hammond, we got the Dragon clear the point. There's the big play. Shinoa just melting him.
How did Senso live through that? There must have been a Sound Barrier came in. Yeah, Sound Barrier came down and able to keep that Zarya alive. Zarya alive for that Graviton. Got a duck behind. Oh, the sightline below the cart kills Shinoda.
The angle on it, that is brutal, and it will be Austria holding in the end. Switzerland not able to find success
Yeah.
with the final point.
You know what, I complimented Luke's earlier and said, like, just when he's not feeling a hero, he gets off. I like it. He goes to heroes that are more effective, or at least he's more comfortable on. Shinoda seems to really want to play Pharah. And they've proven no matter if they have a Widow or if they have an Ana that they're putting damage into your Pharah. It hasn't been the most effective. His Pharah v Pharah was very good, but running Pharah against snipers has just completely shut him down several times, and he keeps going to the well with it. He's yet to really find his footing on a hero so far. His Genji hasn't been great. It's had flashes here.
Sure.
So if he can find a hero to turn it on, I think they could absolutely turn around Rialto on the defense here.
It's
a good push.
But he can also just play that defensive Pharah first point. You know,
Yeah.
float around the buildings. I don't think that he's going to go
wanna
for the
play
change,
it,
though.
But do you want to play it against Eclipse and Mr. Dragon, who have shut you down consistently?
Yeah.
See, I think he goes into the Pharah there at the last time because he's like, okay, good. We got rid of the Widow. We've done enough about Mr. Dragon. But Eclipse has been focusing him pretty hard because the other heals have been very solid on that team. That he doesn't necessarily have to only focus on healing.
True.
And Ana builds alt charge with doing damage, so then they have nano boost up. I don't know. I mean, a defensive Pharah in theory can work. It's just that they've shut down Pharah. And how deep is your pool? Because the Genji is not as effective as well. Maybe Genji would be better on defense. I don't know. It's just something I want to look at going forward with the hero pool that Switzerland has.
We'll take a look at what we got now, Hex. And do you agree with this sort of defensive setup?
Yeah, sure.
Just go for
More
Did you hear
HP,
that?
more HP, more room for mistakes.
Sirens. Somebody called this ambulance.
Well, this is also good too because they're going to probably play flank. And why Roadhog can be good here is there's a lot of environmental kills. Apparently people are not very good swimmers in the Overwatch universe. You pull them in water and they're dead. So you can also boop them off with a Lucio. Ryan can, you know, there's all sorts of knockoffs here. They're going to play super aggro. Let's hold the front door.
Oh, wow. Right up. No holds barred. Straight into the mix. Remix. Got to be over here, keep that AoE healing going down for his team, make sure that they're all topped up. But they've just taken up shops. They've traded places almost.
Yeah.
It's only Lux who's out in the open.
They're trying to make them fight for every inch here.
And then you've just got Watson who's like, right, you guys are going to be over there. That's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and push this payload.
This might be some good scouting too, because generally this far hold at the very first time before you even want to fight is to prevent a fast move. You see this on Junkertown as well, so it prevents the Bastion from getting set up. Now you've seen Team USA do this. Once they win a fight, they just hang out at the door because Team USA is channeling their inner, well, it's an older team, but selfless. Absolutely. They were holding outside your spawn and saying, well, you got to kill us and you can't.
Exactly. Now we're going to have that change, though. Steven is on the far. We will have a Bastion. We will have a potential barrage here, point blank, and that's exactly what he's looking for. D-Matrix is there. However, it looks like the boosters aren't quite online, but the kill only sets up the D-Mech on Kiva. Mimi will find the kill on Steven to trade it right back, and now you've got a Bastion on the high ground. That Ryan shield is not going to last long. Oh, the sound barrier goes down just in the nick of time for him to die.
Yeah, they commit that barrier to it as well. D.Va's going to try to get in the face, and that's annoying, but it's not going to actually kill the Bastion. You just don't have the damage output. You're there to help when the rest of your team wants to engage Bastion. And now...
There we go. But it's too little too late, Hex. It's too little too late.
Bastion dying when you put him in water makes sense to me. Robots aren't very good swimmers, but you're telling me like a Tracer can't pull up a backstroke?
Yeah, but what about a Ryan?
That makes sense.
The guy's where, you know.
That does not go down the list and prove all the flaws of my logic somewhere.
No, that's not the point. That's not the point. I mean, I'm pretty sure that, Moira, she doesn't look like she's packing too much gear.
McCree has a skin where he's wearing a swimsuit.
It's true, that guy's ready to go.
But he has some metal arms, who knows? Anyway, get locked up in the Graviton in that formation. Tank still putting out a ton of burst damage. Justice does rain from above. That is where rain comes from, and that is a pretty much full team kill. Luke's is here, Luke's is not here.
Luke's is gone.
It's Schrodinger's Luke's. All right, they will grab second point with ease. Remember, we're not going to hit a second half of Rialto. The yellow check mark on that payload towards the top is where Switzerland was able to push it. If Austria is able to push it further than that point, we're going to go to a decisive series-deciding map number 5.
We saw how close it was on Control to kick this series off, so map 5 wouldn't be too shabby, but Austria still have to get there first. D-Bomb straight onto the point, and 2 kills! Both of the... that was a sick play.
Those are the best kills you could ask for. That is where the cart will stop on the center of the bridge, stabilized.
That's where you want the slow-mo replay, just because it was perfect, like right on the payload. Perfectly dumped.
I just
right
like
there.
how much more obsessed you are with Diva Bomb since the talent takedown.
Hey, you know, what is it? Great, recognize great.
Game recognizes game.
There you go. I admire.
Now Infrasight popped. Can't peek around corners when Infrasight is up, otherwise you lose your dome. Mini-Me learns that one the hard way.
Oh man, what are they gonna do? There's a, well, they're gonna die, Hex. That's the answer, Lux.
And here's the issue is because Widow just has these great sight lines, stopping them on the bridge there, they're gonna have to flank her, they're gonna have to do something, or run their own Widow to try to deal with it. So Luke's putting on a display on the defense. Mini-Me just charging up his ultimate. Completely safe up here. Gets out.
No problem. And yep, just sets it up here for the shots. Long range, bit of the damage boost. Oh, the speed there. Switzerland committing the sound barrier into this fight along with Shinoda and the Blade. One more, and he does manage to cut Mini in half.
Not exactly what you expect out of a Blade, though. Blade is one of the ultimates you kind of expect 2, generally 3. Big Blades are 4s and 5s.
Sure, yeah. You do expect to get more of an impact out of it. Wasn't quite enough here for Switzerland. A little bit of delay tactic there from Kiva, but he will get cleaned up. Sensotix just killing himself to get a fresh mech. Because there's not really going to be any fight here from Switzerland for a little bit, so he'll have time to run back into it on time. Steven is now the one with the Blade, though, so this could get nasty for Switzerland.
We have kind of a dive right now. A lot of compositional changes happen throughout Rialto. Here's another Blade. Steven's got it this time. Takes out his counterpart.
Oh, no sleep possible. Does find 2 kills. And wow, they're getting white. Lux dies environmental boop from the Mini.
And that's kind of just what you expect out of a Blade, too, because if you get 1, then you have a dash reset. You get a kill as Genji, you get to dash again. It's a really balanced mechanic that I personally love in all my ladder games. No, it's fine, I'm just terrible. So when you get the 1, you expect to get 2, and then, you know, then the Blade starts running out. There is time constraints on it, maybe 3, maybe 4. We've seen giant Blades, but you expect 2 out of a Blade for the most part.
Well, 7 right now is having a field day. Keeps finding these squishies on low HP. Time when Winston gets to shine. We will have the Primal as well. Good contest coming out here from Switzerland in the very end, really trying to hang in here and burn a little bit more time off the clock. We're about to pass the minute mark here for Austria. They will eventually, I mean, they eventually have to clean this up. Although, as I say that, we will have the boost going off. Nano on Mimi, so now he's really going to be tough to kill, and he's going to be cranking out hurt.
It's going to be very close. The reinforcements are going to be coming in very late for the Swiss team. They've got their Lucio back, who's been such a great staller on the point. So much so, they just whip that bomb at him and pray. Eventually, Austria will clean this one up. A 10 kill streak from Mr. Dragon, staying alive on that Tracer.
Yeah, doing excellent work, and here we go. 2 minutes now for Austria to advance, what, like 30 meters away?
Shinoda napping in the back line gets taken out. That's going to feed Steven the last bit he needs to get to another Blade. Nano Blade could be incoming for the Austria offense, and that would lock it down.
That could really clear it up. Yep, you can see it coming as well. He's just waiting.
Now, if he dashes up over your team, you know what to expect.
Oh, there it is. There's the dash. There's the cut. Looking for 1 kill. Mr. Dragon's going to rob him, but there's the self-destruct. At least there's that. Eclipse is out of this fight, but Steven is still here, hacking people to bits. We will have a couple kills coming back, however, for Switzerland, and it's looking like despite the Nano Blades, Switzerland are the ones who are holding their own. They are dangerously low, but some great healing coming through here from the Swiss support line.
It was Luke's who was trying to bring it back. This one's still too early to call. The Tracers are running wild. The Anas are doing what they can to stop the healing. 3v3 on the point right now. We'll have another Blade. Shinoda's gonna have to come in big. Might have to use it here.
Yeah, he's got to come up with the goods right now. Eclipse is barely surviving. Gonna hold on for just a little while longer, and now you're going in full on trying to delay this. Switzerland, though, you've lost control of the situation. Austria running back in with more bodies, but now we've got Mimi in the mix. He's gonna get focused down, and this will be it. Austria tying up the series 2-2. We will go to a control map to settle this.
I think we deserve a map number 5. Control was so close earlier. So far throughout the tournament, it has been Switzerland's best map. We'll see how it goes, but it's been Switzerland's best map by a hair's width. I mean, they beat Norway on it, barely. They beat Austria on it, barely, but This one is way too close to call, so we need to go to a decisive map 5.
Yeah, it's been very scrappy with them for sure. So, I mean, anything can go down, but I'm just kind of excited to see if that hero story is going to come through for Switzerland, just because they came into this with no expectations,
Right.
like set the bar really low.
Yeah.
They managed to check the first box, and if they can get that win versus Austria, they're going to be on cloud 9.
Yeah,
not actually, but they'll be there.
No, being on cloud 9 would be kind of really antithetical, wouldn't it? Like,
It's not going to work.
being off is being on cloud 9. It's strange. I don't know how to figure it out. But yeah, I mean, it was, I asked all the teams, I'm like, what would you consider a successful Overwatch World Cup for you? And a lot of the teams were extremely honest, because a lot of teams are like, well, we want to win the whole thing. But Switzerland's like, want to win a map, and then but also is like, beat Austria. And they would consider that a success. But then maybe, they play USA later today. Take a map off USA would be another check mark. So far, no one's done that one. And I don't know. It's been really interesting. Austria, though, has gotten some really big performances. There's a lot of good players on this roster who've come up big time and again. Mr. Dragon had to when they really need it back against the wall, they do rely on their captain. Watt 7 comes in with primal rage kills. Like, you can't say enough about Eclipse's Ana play. Like, this one is going to be tight.
Yes, Watt 7 in particular is a good name to mention. I feel like he's been doing a tremendous amount of work here, keeping his team in this running. But you can say a bit confusing, but it is, back and forth, and now we shall see.
Why is that confusing?
Will the chain continue?
Because the flags look the same?
Exactly. It might change.
Did you know that Switzerland is one of the only flags in the world that's a square, not a rectangle?
I had no idea.
Now you know.
Thank you, Heck.
The other one would actually be the Vatican flag. And do you know who guards the Vatican? Actually, Swiss soldiers, because they're neutral in conflict. Swiss facts! Hit that to subscribe.
Okay, where is it in the email where I get to unsubscribe? That's what I'm wondering here.
No, just try to say something. Say unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe.
I see you've subscribed to Swiss facts. We will now be sending them twice a day.
So, what was it? Chocolate, Swiss francs. You got anything else for you, bro?
No, I got plenty for you. I did a little stuff on Austria as well, but I don't know. They've been,
Listen, they produced a great man.
Well, look, we're doing.
As far as I'm concerned,
yes.
Schwarzenegger, a great man.
A great man. Came to the country, got famous for lifting weights, and then married into our royalty. A great man. Nothing but net for 20 years.
Nothing but net. I love Bill Burr. Shout out to Bill Burr.
Austria is going to come out with the Farah here. It can be very good, try to knock people off the point. You can get giant concussion blast. And now the question is, what does Switzerland have to deal with it? They're running a bit of a variation on a lot of the tank-heavy play we've seen with a Mei into the mix. Eventually, you have to imagine that Switzerland's just going to try to rotate, drop down through this back on the point. Steven sees it right away. Still going to try to lace in the damage over top.
Oh, right now he's got the perfect angle. That Rhine shield's a bit too far forward. Means that he's going to be able to crank it up. Nearly has the barrage already again. We're getting flashbacks here, Hex. Oh, no! What are you doing? Did he fact figure it?
Well, I think he thought they were coming out or something. You could see his frustration in the mouse movements towards the end. No, it's just his zoning barrage.
That is unfortunate.
Yes. And now he's going to get beamed down on the point. A fire strike will clean him off. Mr. Dragon ends up target practicing into the ice wall there.
And while it will be Switzerland picking up the first control here, despite Austria's best efforts. Oh, the halt, though.
This could be the X factor on this point in particular. Okay, so Switzerland mentioned that this is their favorite map overall, but they don't like this stage of it. But we saw how good Watt 7 was earlier as well on Oasis, playing that Orisa too, and it just wonder if Switzerland's going to be able to play an Orisa on this point to match it, because she's great on second.
That was a nice attempt there from Mr. Dragon. You guys are going to have to come out and play with us eventually. Again, we will have the barrage. It gets canceled, but not before picking up 2 kills. Remix and Mimi out of it. Steven just running amok right now. Shinoda, the next man to fall. And while he is getting focused, it's not going to be good. Luke's will survive just a little while longer. Great delay hero, obviously.
Decent though, yeah. I mean, they've already got nearly 50%, and they haven't really even won a fight. In fact, Switzerland has only 3 eliminations on this map, but they are leading it. Overwatch is an objective-based game. You can get all the kills you want, but you got to capture the control point.
Keep that in mind on note.
Yeah, okay, so they're going to switch to their own Farah. I think this actually probably Shinada's best matchup, because his Farah's been shut down when the other team has long-range hit scan, but his Farah v Farah looked really good on Oasis. Or at least serviceable enough to put some pressure on Steven.
I mean, he starts it off by hitting a dead-on rocket on Steven. So, Steven now gets put on notice. Great beam, and that's mini dead as well. That is a value target right there for Scorpion. Lighthouse definitely showing the way to victory if it keeps that up. Sensotix, though, is going to blow Mimi up, but Luke's will be able to trade it right back. Grab in the mix as well, just throwing all the ults into this game. If Mimi can get back into this fight, though, we do have a Shatter, and that could definitely shut things down.
There's another barrage. We've seen so many of them.
Right there, point blank. Let's go. Oh, and he blows himself up. All Mimi has to do is hold the shield up.
You know, it's absolutely totally fine to target down a Ryan shield with barrage.
Sure.
It will crack eventually, and you will get the Ryan. You want to go a little further back.
Just don't do it from 2 feet away.
A little
You're
further
shooting
back
rockets.
would be the optimal area of attack from that angle. 72% and counting up for Switzerland. They have a Shatter. Mimi's just waiting for it. He's not even hiding, waiting for it. Sees that they're rotating through the other side. Let's see where the Shatter does come off. On the other side of things, no ults of note to speak of. No one really even close. Maybe next one online will be Dragon for Austria.
See if he can get more value from it. Kiva will be finding the first kill of this new fight. Steven is out of the fight already. And well, man advantage now for Switzerland. They're going to be feeling good about that. Shinoda gets to run amok and just really chuck rockets left, right, and center.
Yeah, there's a barrage. Takes down Dragon.
Great game physics there. Love it. Love it.
Well, these Pharahs just want a taste of their own justice, apparently. The Shatter comes down. Now it's just clean up on the point. Sensitix unable to defense matrix against the Zarya. Little cute play right there. Goes off the edge. Comes back on. You know, we mentioned much earlier, probably on Oasis as well, when I looked at the damage numbers. Kiva's been a silent killer. Gets the opening pick there. You know, it's not these flashy plays, but you give me a flex tank who's just rock solid and consistent, I'll take it every day.
Flex, exactly. Multiple heroes and definitely shown that he's capable on multiple ones as well. Shinoda had a few moments there at the end, but you got to give it to Lux as well. There is quite a bit of talent on both of these teams, but Lux has had the standout yesterday, today. Got to give it to him. He's always consistent. Mr. Dragonball, a bit of a quiet game, that one. So that first point, not quite finding the impact.
Yeah, 4 deaths too, not great. And that is the stage that Switzerland does. I mean, they favor it the least, I suppose. And now they are 1 stage away from taking the win over Austria. Just another checkbox on their goal list. The bucket list for Switzerland, it's getting shorter.
It is. It's within their grasp now. And then, hey, we're going to have a great match versus USA later. All right, Shinoda, though, going to be leading the way once again with the Pharah. Austria, however, going to be changing up their game plan. Going for really beefy targets, but it's looking like, hey, once they see that Pharah, they don't want to have anything to do with it.
Really quick switch, good adaptation.
No, I like it. I like it. We will have just a little bit of variation here from them, and it will be the first control picked up for Switzerland, but that should be fine. Shinoda with a good position to just rain in rockets from on high.
Well, Austria knows that they're going to give up first control there. When you go back to spawn, obviously the positioning is not going to be in your favor, but now it's about, can you make this work? They do get both of the tanks down very quickly. A nice switch for Austria.
Yeah, some good focus on there on Shinoda, making him have to back off. He couldn't fully commit to taking these fights, finding those kills. He's getting closer to Barrage, but look at Seven already got the Shatter online. This is nuts.
I think Dragon heard you that she was being kind of quiet. On this Diva gets a triple right off the bat. Austria takes the point back. They did surrender 27% to the Swiss team here.
Now they have to walk into a Shatter, though, so this can get a little bit frustrating for Switzerland.
They have to walk into a Shatter. I think Coalescence is one of those ults that I treat almost like Pulse Bomb. That if you feel that you need to use it, then definitely use it. It's not something you want to die with because it charges so fast. EMP is going to come up. I think you try to win this fight with Shatter. The next fight you try to win with EMP self-destruct.
Let's see if that's going to be the game plan here. Yep, Shatter has been used by Seven, creating the opening. 2 quick kills coming through for Austria. And while we have got the nano used for Switzerland, but I bet they wish they had that back at this point. You're like, oh, well.
Watt does a great job of just backing off there, being low. He knows that there's no need. They're going to double down on this and really finish out this fight. The EMP did come out. Now, next fight, they're going to have a Graviton and a Self-Destruct. You chase that. You do. Hit the headshot late. Mr. Dragon's crushing. What'd you do? You awoke the Dragon.
Of course, though. He's got 7 final blows now. This is what happens.
Yeah, Switzerland needs to talk to you. You just poked the sleeping Dragon, and now he's up and he's crushing on the Diva, of all things. That is a lot of kill feed for a Diva.
Wake your Dragon, like a Diva mist behind us. I mean, the Dragon is everywhere, and that's it. Just rest in the Dragon's arms, because that's exactly what Switzerland are doing. We've got the bomb going off. Boom. And, well, Remix gets clocked again. This is a problem now for Switzerland. Austria are starting to get pretty far ahead in terms of percentage on this point.
It is a problem-ish. Switzerland has done a good job of not burning ults after they've been getting shattered or losing fights. And so if you look at the ultimate economy, as we often refer to it, Switzerland is going to be in a much better position. They're going to be in a position to hopefully get Kiba up to a Graviton, and then a Graviton Dragon should win the fight. A barrier on the other side is the only ultimate Austria has, and that barrier could save their lives. Barrage is going to come down and eaten up, gets nothing. Scorpion, Shinoda, both fall.
Perfect play by Mr. Dragon. He really is taking full control. The coalescence there to keep everybody topped up. We will lose the mech for Mr. Dragon, but Austria right now looking fantastic. Shinoda's the only last guy here apart from Luke's. Luke's trying to go for a wrap, trying to tap. Not gonna happen. And Austria taking control. And again, tied situation here, Hex, going into the third point.
Yeah. And it makes sense that we'd go to this final stage, as Austria is a country characterized by small mountain villages and alpine terrain.
Switzerland is also similarly.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
the
know.
thing is, you would hope that there would have been a little bit more of a battle on the second point. You know, just get 99-99, go the full distance.
Yeah, let's go to the village right here in Nepal. This one for all the marbles to win the series in this regional rivalry between Switzerland and Austria. Who's got the better ski team? Who's got the better Overwatch team, more importantly?
That's what we're really about. I mean, as far as alpinists are concerned, both of them amazing. So, final point, and it has begun. Point unlocks in 30 seconds, and as far as the comps are concerned, Mr. Dragon, another opportunity for him to shine. We're gonna get some Reaper play. Shinoda, though, is going to be happy to see that. But Steven can deal
Very
with
different
Shinoda with
styles.
the long-range icicles.
Yeah, this is a more stationary style. You're going to take the point, you want them to come in, you want to cut it in half, and then you want Reaper to clean up whatever you cut in half. So you can just also zone them out, sit behind the shield, and not take any damage. This point's about to unlock. It's going to be a question of Switzerland can test this or not.
See if Steven can actually find the headshot with those icicles. It's going to be brutal. Wall goes up again, and it will be Austria taking first control here on the final point of this series. So far, I mean, Mr. Dragon, he's loving it. He's like, oh, you want to try and come through here? I'm going to put shotguns in your face, and you're not going to have fun.
Asleep and then woken right away. Austria taking up now. And Switzerland, I think they're going to try to use ultimates here, and if that doesn't work, they need to switch compositions. Because fire can be good, but not when the team knows exactly how to play around it, which they are. Because you only have that angle and the other side to try to get a big barrage in. He's going to get a big barrage in for sure.
Oh, a monstrous barrage. 2 kills, and he nearly gets the Rhine. That's going to set it up for Luke's to find the kill on Watt 7. Switzerland, they turn it around in an instant. Minnie and Steven are the last two alive, and now it's only Steven who's here. Gets naded as well, so we will have the swap, and it is going to go back and forth here, Hex. This is exactly what we wanted.
It's good play by Switzerland to be patient with it, because you're waiting for that moment. And either that moment works, and now you're in great position. In control of a point with a Pharah feels a lot better than trying to take a point with a Pharah. You're up over top of these roofs. Shinoda right now just already trying to poke away, try to get his barrage back up. Had that not worked, they might have switched to a tank heavier composition to try to get in there. Despite there being a Reaper, he just ran on Brigitte, able to shut down the Reaper and a lot of his abilities. So a nice counter play there. Switzerland in control on this decisive final stage.
And wholesale changes made on Austria as well, so the ult economy is going to be very low. If you look at the other side, though, Remix with the preemptive wings here, preparing for this push, keeping Scorpion alive for now at least. The focus fire between the tanks is too good, though. Kiba and Scorpion are dead. Remix, despite the wings, not able to keep his teammates alive, and Shinoda getting hacked is not going to help things. He gets run over by Watt 7. Great communication here on the Austrian side.
They lost 2 in the Valk early, and Austria, though they made wholesale changes, did keep one of their heroes the same, and that was Mini-Me. He's able to use the barrier to give them the sustain that they needed through it. Watt 7 comes up huge again with a couple of kills. The veteran presence on this team, keeping them calm, and they flipped that economy quickly. Coalesce and self-destruct out. Pulse Bomb, of course, going to be up, but EMP almost there as well. And now Switzerland is the one behind the 8 ball, has to make a giant switch as well.
The surprise hack. You wanted to have a shield? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Hammers are swinging here, and Switzerland just looking to take the fight on the point, trying to keep together. We've already lost Shinoda for Switzerland, though. They need to get a counter kill. They need to be able to take out Dragon or Sensotics, and they will succeed in the DMAC on Sensotics. So Switzerland have a chance, but they've lost Remix. EMP comes out here from Steven, and that might be it. Austria might be able to shut him down here.
Mimi just swinging away like a minor league slugger right there. Also doesn't get signed, and he is put back to spawn. Switzerland back against the wall. Final fight. Austria in control at nearly 90% and counting. Switzerland must win this fight or they will lose the series to Austria.
To have gone the distance. Switzerland, you're so close. We have to see. You might have words with me later for cursing them with Mr. Dragon. Mr. Dragon, hey, there's a bomb. Yeah, take that. Hey, tell me what you think. Remix, already dead.
Take 2 and call me in the morning. 3 quick kills, and this one, the writing is on the wall. Desperation alts come out from Switzerland. They get 1, they get 2.
They do get 2, but it's now down to Kiba and Remix. Last 2 alive here, trying to buy it out on this point. The focus fire is too good, though. Kiba gets melted, and it is going to be Austria sitting pretty, looking like they're going to lock down this series. Luke's going to be the Hail Mary play from him, but he's not going to be fast enough, and Austria will win the series over Switzerland. They are the ones who get to talk all the trash next year. Until next year.
Austria, a country with a fierce cultural competition of baking cakes. They had the better ingredients today. They were the better village with the better cake.
Congratulations on the tasty cake, guys. You did it. It's the cake of victory, Hex.
Well played there. I also said Switzerland played really well. There's so much talent on both of these teams. You could go across the board, and we didn't call everybody's name. You saw late, Sensitix's Diva looked very good. Kiba was silent, like very quietly doing a lot of work. Of course, when they needed it the most, Austria had to dig deep. It was Watt 7 again, Eclipse rock solid on flex support. Those are probably the 2 biggest stars on the team. But then Dragon just popped off. This is a dangerous team because if you have a DPS that can play Widow like that, you can give anyone a scare.
You can take over, start playing Hanzo, start playing Reaper, Diva, just all the mix. And it really did feel like the Diva was his moment to shine, but I'm told now we have Malik on the floor with Eclipse.
All right, thank you very much. I'm here with Eclipse from Team Austria. These guys just pulled off their first victory. First off, Eclipse, I want to do a heart rate check because you look like you're very nervous. Let's see, is it racing? Oh my God, this guy. The nerves have gotten to you. So tell me, man, you guys finally pulled off your first victory. You've been joking around a lot, you know, the team around the building. I remember in the makeup room, you guys were saying, we're just here to have fun. You know, we really don't expect to win, but you actually won one. So how does it feel, man?
It's insane. Like, I'm so relieved right now. We kind of threw the Horizon game, so I was shaking a bit. But yeah, I'm really glad we won that.
You know what? Let's actually talk about that Horizon match. You guys had 6 minutes in your time bank on attack. What do you think went wrong in that map that you guys ended up dropping it?
I think we should have just stacked ults because we had so much time. We kind of used them like one by one. It was pretty stupid. Yeah, stupid mistakes.
You got to use those ults in a proper manner. All right, so last question for you. Later on today, you guys are going up against Brazil. How are you feeling about that matchup? And is there anything you'd like to say to the opposing team ahead of time? Maybe a little smack talk or anything?
We're scared. I'm scared.
That's not what I was expecting. But at least he's keeping it real. Anything else?
I just want to say, like, I hope that's gonna be a great game. They're really strong. I hope it's gonna be like even game, not a full storm.
Okay, cool. Respecting the opponent. I like that gameplay, man. Well, thank you very much for your time and congratulations on your first victory, Eclipse. And with that, we're gonna go ahead and break down the matchup right now and send it back on over to the casters.
Thanks, Malik. And yes, it actually would have worked. We were wondering how this double box thing was going to work out, but I think we can actually
Put up a high five.
The high five. I'm going to get on that for tomorrow or later today. So there you go. I mean, I
I'm
think
gonna get priority straight.
that's
Yeah, it's number 1.
really thinking about it. But yeah, congratulations to Austria for the big win. That's going to be a feel-good moment for them this weekend for sure.
Yeah, now they can build a little confidence. Hopefully they're not as scared, but you know, like I said, they play USA later today, and there's some players on this Austrian team that should be scaring the United States. I mean, giving them nightmares. 35 enemies slept, a nice ratio of healing to damage done there for the Ana. I mean, that was some great Ana play.
That's exactly what we were just talking about, Hex. You know, as far as I'm just super happy to see more of her play.
Yeah.
Mechanically demanding hero, and it's as far as a commentator is concerned, it's just exciting because you know how hard it is to do that, and so you do get just hyped to see these sleeps. And we've seen some really great sleeps. You know, Nano Genji, nope, you go to bed. Winston, nope, go to bed.
Yeah, the Ana is the story for me. We're gonna just go through some of these amazing highlights, a lot of early Pharah play. But for me, it used to be in a couple prior patches, if you played Ana perfectly, you're almost as effective as a Mercy. Now, if you play Ana perfectly, you are more effective than almost any other healer. She's mechanically demanding, and you should reward that. The skill ceiling being that high should reward that kind of play. But we saw a bevy of different heroes. I thought Steven was actually a low-key superstar during this matchup, posting out a lot of different heroes. His Mei was all right. I liked his Vara a great deal.
Yeah.
The way he got barrages so quickly. Of course, Luke's we will watch later today play as well. I mean, this Tracer play. And I think if you have a DPS that has shown these flashes of brilliance, Luke's yesterday was hitting headshots 2 and 3 in a row sometimes, and that should scare anybody. They have to play USA later today, you know, as does Austria, so we'll see if either of these teams can stack up there. But this was an exciting match between two, you know, we've kind of built it up as rivals. Zoe tells me, she's like, we're not really rivals. In fact, we both kind of just bond over our dislike of other countries because we're so close together. But, you know, that's just kind of how it is. But it is something, you know, it's like when you play your brother in cards or something. You're not like rivals, but you want to beat them.
Oh, yeah. No, you want to beat your brother
yeah.
at anything at that point, yeah. You're not going to be backing off. I mean, it's just, that's the thing. You get to talk smack forever afterwards.
Yeah. And I'm just overall on this tournament and as compositions go, I remain to be thrilled about it because every time we talk to these teams, they're like, we expect Goats comp, we expect triple, we expect a lot of tanks, but we've seen everything, and the USA has busted out some interesting strats. I believe they will continue to do so later. Seen a lot of Winston, Ana, Tracer, Hanzo, Widow, Genji, Pharah. Like, what more do you want?
A very balanced game, and it's looking like we're getting it, Hex. Yeah. That's what happens when you have multiple heroes getting picked reliably.
Yeah.
It means that, okay, we're getting some depth. We're getting some real depth here.
Seen every tank, most of the damage dealers, most of the supports. It's been a super fun tournament to watch, and I don't expect it to slow down anytime soon.
Exactly right. So we will be having Brazil versus USA coming up next, but first we have to take a break. So guys, don't go anywhere. We've got another match coming up in just a moment.